What's going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? And I would like to welcome you to We
We
Ain't
ain't goes.
Goes. I hope everybody's having a wonderful night. I hope you got your drink of choice and you are ready for some cool relationship conversation, okay?
Yes, disclaimer, we are not therapists. We are not um, counselors. We
Mm,
just want to tell you our perspective on our relationship, and that's it.
yeah.
So don't
So
go blaming nothing on us if
exactly. So
y'all
if
tried
something
what we
goes
did.
absolutely bad because you tried what we did or you try to pick up that vibe, then it's not our fault. We
Not
are
it.
just speaking from experience. So whenever you hear this podcast, this is an experience podcast. Everything that we speak about, we talk about from excuse me, experience.
OMG.
Listen, y'all, this wine got me burping and all of that, so please forgive me. But no, anyway, seriously though, we want to make sure that you do this, and we got to get some things out the way. First of all, if you would like to follow we ain't goes, then do me a favor, do that on IG, on Instagram, and you can do that on Facebook, and you can subscribe to our YouTube page right now as well. We need you all to do those things because the more that everybody subscribes and follows and likes and shares, then the better the content gets out. Okay. We can
Mm-hmm.
share the content and we can get more content from you, beautiful people. And guess what? When we do We Ain't Goes, feel free to comment, feel free to ask questions. We are cool with that. And we just want to make sure that you are having a good time tonight, just like we are. But also, you know how it goes down. Can you tell me, like, if I'm trying to get my workout on, right? So if I'm trying to get my workout on, can you tell me some place that I can be or something that I can do to help with me, like kind of like lose weight or at least try to,
Hmm.
get to that goal? What could I do?
Yeah, you know what? I could recommend Too Bad Zumba.
Ooh, what is that?
The number two, BAD, as in beautiful and determined and or bold and distinguished. Zumba is just a good 45-minute, maybe sometimes an hour class of high intense cardio, dance moves, Latin rhythms. Also, we use some hip hop, R&B type stuff as well. So it's a party. It's just a party. Period. So yeah, we have classes Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 p.m. to about 7ish. Like I said, in person. Also virtual classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All these times, and then Saturday mornings at the YMCA on Broadway, the 1720 West Broadway location at 9 a.m.
All right. So if you want to get your Zumba on, make sure that you check that out. And then also, this weekend is the weekend for the backpack drive. We are giving away at least 100 backpacks.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to everybody who made that happen. Shout out to everybody who's been donating. And yes, we are still taking donations up until Friday. So please make sure that you can do that. More information will be on the We Ain't Goals page. And you can also follow the at Tezza 2D page as well. And
Oh,
Too Bad Zumba will have more information
Taz
on
too
that.
deep, you say. My shirt says, I don't know if people
Okay.
can see it. It says, they say black is my race, but it feels like a marathon.
Okay. Tezza Too
Ooh,
Deep.
Taz too deep said that
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
From that Black Boy Joy
Black Boy
song,
Joy song.
which is a great transition into what I always say every single podcast. If you have not heard of some good music from
Mm-hmm.
that boy, Tears of Too Deep, then I need you to go listen to that great hip hop and R&B music from Tears of Too Deep. That's what we do. That's what we got to shout out. And shout out to everybody who tunes in and listens to We Ain't Goes every single Wednesday. We've been turning up, y'all. Conversations get deeper and deeper. And then some
Mm-hmm.
conversations are light, but sometimes they get a little deep. So I want you all to please subscribe, as I said earlier. Please follow, please share, do everything that you can do to make this happen. But before we get to that, I got one more thing that we need to do. We got this lovely
Hold
piece
on.
of thing
Hold
sitting
on.
up here.
So,
It looks so good.
yes. So, forget
When
a
it's
little bit of what you heard about
oh,
fitness
and it's
at the
when
Too Bad Zumba
it's
class.
it's
We
honey
have
bun.
today for
Oh
our local
jeez.
loot. Hold on, cuh.
Okay.
Our local loot, a honey bun jarred cake
Ooh,
from the Cake
the
Man.
cake
You can
man.
find him on Facebook. It's the Cake Man, but it's lowercase CAKE and lowercase man. So not to be confused with another one, but the Cake Man. And
Awesome.
today we have
Honey bun.
honey bun.
Ooh,
So
let's
I
try it.
told his wife that we were going to show this half eaten, but my husband said we should try it on the
Yes,
air.
on air.
So
On
sorry about all
air.
this feedback that y'all probably about to get from
What you mean?
the no from the tin and all that in the mics and
Oh
stuff.
no, but no, we gonna be
But
good. We gonna be good. I'm gonna try to tell you now. Like it says, honey bun. Now, like I say, I've been working on my weight, y'all. You know, I've been doing my
y'all,
little
oh my
thing,
God, I wish
but it
y'all had
smells
smell-o-vision.
so. Smells so. Did you say
I
smell-o-vision?
did smell-o-vision.
Oh my goodness. Oh, there
Oh,
goes my diet. That is
okay.
absolutely right.
So I'm gonna get some on my fork.
Oh, look at the icing.
I
The
wish y'all could
icing.
see.
Look at the icing. The icing is at the
Okay, the
top.
people who are on live can see this
Ooh.
and YouTube. OMG. This is all icing up on her, y'all.
Mm.
With a little bit of cake under
A
there.
little cake.
Oh,
See,
see,
I ain't
I
gonna play
feel
no
bad
game.
because you just got a whole big chunk. Let me go
See,
back
let's
in
see.
and get a
That's a
little more cake
perfect
on there.
icing on there. That
Let me
is
get a little more
perfect right
cake on
there.
there because that's
Now,
only fair.
now listen,
Mm.
y'all. When you listen to We Ain't Goes, get you a snack,
Yes,
get you a
yes,
drink, chill
yes.
out, and we're gonna get some conversation. But right now, we got the cake man.
We gotta
He
try
done
this.
sent us something. We gotta try this. So y'all forgive us, okay? All
All
right, we're
right.
gonna back away from the mics because we don't want it to sound all
I ain't
bad
gonna
and
be
stuff.
smacking.
I am. I will. I probably will be. So just
Okay,
let you
okay.
know.
Come
All
on.
right, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, MG.
Mm.
Oh man.
Listen,
See, we should have
what is
tried
it?
this
Oh,
before.
did you just? That's a big bite.
I did
babe.
because see,
I know, but that's why I said you can't get too much though.
we should have tried this before so that we could have eaten this.
This is good.
Because how am I not supposed to eat this the whole rest of the show?
This is good. All from scratch. Ooh, you can like feel that in every
Okay,
bite.
and also he doesn't always only do just the jars. You can buy a whole cake. Also, I just want to know. So that's next. I might be hitting you up sooner rather than later. Like I might need one Friday. So I'm just saying. I know not today, Satan, but see, he probably ships too. So I know where you are, Micah. So yeah,
Shout out to Micah.
he ships.
Yes. All right. So okay. So let's put that to the side and tell them where they can find them again one more time and what kind of and let them know what flavor that we just had.
I'm sorry. Let me swallow this cake.
Yes, we had honey bun
We
flavor.
had honey bun cake,
Yep.
the cake man.
Cake in a jar.
But it's lowercase c and lowercase m for cake man when you find them on the on Facebook. I can't even talk, y'all, because this here.
This is gonna be a funny playback, babe. When we play this back, I'm like, dang, y'all, this is
We ain't said nothing yet. But cake.
just
Okay.
cake. Cake,
Okay.
cake.
I'm close it up.
But no, check us out. Please make sure you check out the Cake Man. Absolutely,
Whoa.
absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's got like it gives you all of these vibes when you.
Y'all don't
I
even
would
know.
say I would now you can get other flavors, but this honey bun flavor was
I don't
pretty.
even know. Like
Hey, that was pretty.
he's
That's
got
pretty fire.
several
right there.
other flavors.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
got red velvet. He's
We'll
got,
definitely be supporting
chocolate.
and black owned, black
Black
man,
owned.
black
Black
black, black of the black man, black
Yes.
black. He black. All right, so he is a black man, so you want to make sure that we support our black men
I
and
just want y'all to
families.
know it's
Okay.
gonna be impossible for me to have to
Impossible.
share the rest of this
Yeah, I
with
mean,
my husband.
you will, but because you're nice.
I
not.
will probably.
I might try that
Kinda.
with something else though. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Two
Cake Man.
words.
Yes, 2 words, my
The
brother.
Well, actually 3. The Cake Man.
Yes, 3. All right. So
Yes.
all right, cool.
Hold on. Let's
So
see
if
if
you
I can show people just real quick.
No, we're good. What we could do is we could post it on We Ain't Goes as
Yeah,
well.
we'll share it.
There we go. So we'll post it on We Ain't Goes right after this show. And if you are if the Cake Man himself is in here, then make sure you tag yourself and your business so people can go to it right now. All right, y'all. Now it's time to talk about the topic of the night. And as always, the beautiful wife, hype wife, is going to introduce this topic because it's called what?
Family Matters.
Not the TV show, not to be confused, but it gave you a good idea where we was going with it.
Yes. So we are talking about as my husband did point out earlier when we were talking about this is kind of like a play on words,
Yeah, yeah.
a double entendre.
Hmm.
So you would be talking about matters of your family,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and your family does matter.
Matter. Facts. Okay.
So, um, one of the leading questions that we came up with is, what influence does your family have on your marriage? So that would
It's a
be
great
like
question.
your own individual family. So me, I've got a bunch of families because of step parents as well on
Uh-huh.
both sides.
Yep.
And then his parents are still together. So he can talk about those two sets of families branching off of them.
Okay, cool.
So
So get
yeah,
started. What you got?
that's the question. What influence does your family have on your marriage? So um
Do you want me to go? I mean, it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
you could go.
So I guess what influence my family, I think if you look at it from the perspective of what is like how my family is and how my family is now, like my own personal family, like my own, like you, CJ and Harmony.
Hmm.
So one way that it affects our marriage is because we're still together. So my mom and dad, fortunately, are still together. They've been married for over 25 years, at least 30, right? At
Hmm.
least about 30 something years. And they have stuck with each other through thick and thin. So a lot of um, a lot of crazy stuff that I remember just growing up, just little small things that happened. And like I didn't have one of those movie lives and just a whole bunch of tragedy and a whole bunch of tragic stuff happened. But it was interesting to see how we went through all of those things and my mom and my dad stayed together. You know what I'm saying? So like my mom and my dad fought through whatever that they were fighting through, and they continuously stayed together. And that influences the way that we are now, believe it or not, because I feel like if my mom and dad could do it, we can do it. You know what I'm saying? If
Hmm.
my mom and dad can stick with each other for 25 years, then I think that we can do it as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that we can, you know, last longer than them or anything like that. I'm just saying, period. Like
You had
we
a good
can. I had a good
example.
example of
Yeah.
what marriage looks like, but that was only to the point of, my dad not leaving. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I mean that in any kind of way. Like, not like, my dad struggled with some things. And when he struggled with some things, a lot of times in other families, that's when, the father ends up not being around.
Yeah.
And he struggled through those things, and he continued to, I mean, I think it's just really by the grace of God that he continued to stay around and still was there, you know what I mean? And still tried his best to be whatever father he could be to us when he was going through his, trials and tribulations, as they say in church. So, I thank God for my family, man. I thank God for my dad and my mom, and they influenced me a lot to just know, like, whatever you go through, whatever happens, just try to work it out and try to stick together and try to, not get so, try not to destroy your marriage. And even when you get close to destroying it, rebuild it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Or, realize how your kids are. Like, realize you got kids that are watching you. Like I noticed that. Like, my dad was going through so much. I mean, and then something happened, and then all of a sudden it was like he was a brand new person within
Just
two
a light
weeks.
bulb
You know what I'm
moment
saying?
where
Like,
he just had to change
exactly.
it around.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had like a whole epiphany, and then it was like he just was a different dad. I remember that literally from,
He was actually a dad, is
yeah,
what
yeah,
you
yeah,
said, instead
yeah,
of just being
yeah, just
up
being there,
in
because he
the
was dealing
house.
with whatever he was dealing with. So, I just was, it was really touchy. It's a really touchy conversation about that when it comes to my dad. My mom is my heart. My mom is everything to me. My dad taught me a lot of just about hard work. So if
Hmm.
y'all know why I got 5, 6, 12 jobs, it's literally because of my dad
Because
and my uncle
Big
Gary.
Ollie.
Yeah, like they taught hard work, I mean, and dedication. But my mom, she's my heart, man. The reason why I love kids so much is because of my mom and how much she loves kids. The reason why, I was in the profession I was in was literally because of my mother. So, those things helped me become the husband that I am because of hard work, dedication, commitment, teaching me words that I probably didn't know what they were, but as I, as I go into a relationship and as I continue to
You
stay
can,
in a
the action
relationship,
was there.
yeah, I can
Yeah.
identify what those actions were and put those on. So that's how, yeah, I guess how my family influences our marriages, because they give me an example of what to do, how to stay together and continue to fight over through these years. Now, and what you got for that?
Well, for me, I come from two different sets of parents because I have stepmom and dad together and then stepdad and mom. So, luckily, I come from a place of where co-parenting works.
Hmm.
Like, I'm super grateful for the relationship that I have with all of my parents. Like, they're my parents, period.
Yeah,
Like
no
the
such thing as step. It
yeah,
don't feel like
the
it. Yeah.
extension of my brothers and sisters. Like, there's no halves, there's no none of that. So because I'm my mom's only child, but I have an older step brother, and then from my dad and stepmom, I have little sister and older sister and little brother. Like, I'm grateful for the Brady Bunch, I guess you could say, of family that I have. I remember one thing when I was little, as far as an influence that my mom had on me, was that when she got married, I mean, they were 26. No, she was 26 when she had me, and she was married. So that was one thing in the back of my mind. Always, like, no slack to anybody else, but always in the back of my mind, I just wanted to be married before I had my first child. So she was a huge influence for me there. Um, um, I don't know, just the
So I got a question for you. So like,
yeah.
what can you take from both of their relationships? What has influenced you to either be great, like do some great things in our relationship? Just by using an example of both of your parents' relationship that they have now.
Hmm. There's some really great moms. I'm grateful to have two amazing mothers because
Facts.
they cared for us so much. Like I
Mhm.
said, there was no difference in I never felt the difference in being a half sibling or step sibling. And I don't know if my other brothers and sisters feel the same way, but I to this day, like, I don't feel any different.
Mhm.
The caring, the nurturing, the participating and stuff. Oh my gosh. Like, Jane, like, she would go to Kentucky Kingdom with us and do stuff with us, go to the movies, take us everywhere. Like, it was just time being spent with my parents
Mhm.
meant a lot.
Dope.
And shoot, my daddy too. And we went on father-daughter field trips, and
Mhm.
they were there, definitely there when I needed it most. I never
Mhm.
lacked in feeling important.
Dope. Dope. And your stepdad as well. I mean, like what? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But what would you say about your stepdad?
He's very dependable.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts.
always, always there. Always. Like I said, if anybody, like, because I lived with him the most, so him and my mom, and then I would spend summers with my dad and stepmom. But like, our dynamic to this day is like crazy.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
like, I do anything for any of my parents, like, no
That's
matter
facts.
what.
I
So
would too for your parents. I love your parents. Your parents are absolutely amazing.
hey,
So,
listen, that's another dynamic. Your parents,
what about them?
ah, woo.
Yeah, I mean, so we could kind of talk about that, but I think too, like, one thing that's really really cool is that, like, when you have a family that they didn't know how to do stuff. So one thing I did take, I'm not gonna say it was a negative trait, but one thing with me growing up, personality wise, I was the type of person that needed a lot of like attention and love, but I never really like my family never showed it that way. So like in my
Mm,
household, it was just me and my brother. So it was a boy household. You know what I'm saying? That's what we did. Wrestled, you know what I'm saying? Sports, all of that other type of stuff. You know what I mean? I was always in music. My brother was in music. My brother played sports and did some cool stuff. You know what I mean? So like we were just boys. You know what I mean? So my mom had to like raise us a certain kind of way. You know what I mean? I mean, we'll touch on that on the parenting conversation whenever we get to that. But like, you know, my mom raised us a certain kind of way, and like the affection and the love piece was a little bit different. Like we showed love in a different kind of way. So one thing that I
Ooh.
can take away from that is that I noticed that I didn't need that kind of love in my family. And what I mean by that is I need my family to know that I love them. You know what I mean? Without me trying
So
to
you
figure
just
it
wanted to
out
show love a
as a
different
kid.
way.
Yes. So I needed to no, I needed to see that love all the time. So if you notice with our family, thanks to you, you know what I mean? Like you're very like, you know, like, hey, give me a kiss, see you later. You know what I mean? Like even the whole thing with your
Yes.
mom
Oh, we
saying,
don't. My mom never says
yeah,
bye.
yeah,
Like
we
we
said to see
don't.
you later
We
thing.
yeah.
Right.
I've
So
said bye on here a couple times,
yeah.
but like two family members, like
Yeah, we
no,
always
we
say see you
never.
later, but like even little small stuff like that makes you be like, well, why do y'all do that? And then you say why, and it's like, oh, okay, that's really cool. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So maybe we need to incorporate that in our family. And that's just what I wanted to do. I wanted to always be affectionate. You know what I'm saying? You know, my dad was not really the one that kind of, you know, hugged up on me and all that type of stuff. Cause you gotta think about it, times was a little bit different or whatever when we were growing up.
Yeah.
So it's not the same way with me and my son. So me and my son, we hug, I give him a kiss, I do all of that type of stuff. And that's the little things that, you know, me and my father didn't share, but that doesn't mean I didn't think my father loved me. You know what I'm saying? I know my father loved
Yeah.
me, man. He will do anything for me, and even to this day, you know, he's just like that. But
Yeah.
that's what I took away. Where I was like, you know what, I want to improve that. You know what I'm saying? Like I need that as a me as a person. I need to get that love. So I know my kids are definitely going to possibly need that, especially if I got it from my wife. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you know, being that way came from her. So I wanted to definitely, you know, put that on my kids and say, you know, in our little family, that's what we're gonna do. So that's one way, you know, not necessarily a negative trait, but something that I would say
Something
we didn't do that
that
we
was
do
a lack
now.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that reminds me of when we brought up to Daddy that when I was little, because Cortez said something about him and Harmony, he's gonna do something like whatever at her wedding. He's gonna call her
Her
a
womp.
nickname or yeah, a kiss they do
That's just a womp.
at
Y'all need to know what it is.
yes at
Yeah.
their at their
Y'all don't
at
need to
her
know.
wedding. He said
Okay.
he's still gonna do that, and I said,
Facts, and she's gonna
okay,
do
she's gonna
that.
be super grown and
And
probably over it.
mm-hmm.
And I said, I remember when I was little, my daddy used to on the phone when we get off the phone with each other, he would go and see who could hold the real long. And I don't know, I got like 13 and I was in front of some friends and he did that and I was just like, okay, Daddy, I don't think I want to do that no more.
Hurt his
So
heart.
we asked him literally just like last weekend or
And
2
I
weekends ago.
told you that
And I said, he's not
he
going to
would,
remember that.
and I said
And
he's
he
definitely
said,
gonna remember that.
I remember the moment exactly when you did that. And I said,
Exactly. See,
man.
I tell you, I tell you,
And
they
here
don't.
I am, 31 years old, 30, about to be 32. And I'm like, dang, why does he remember stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So,
you're his daughter. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So, and you never forget. You'll never forget those moments with your children. So our next thing is where the conversation gets a little different. You know what I mean? So when to defend your family members versus your spouse. So this is a very
Ooh.
touchy conversation. So I hope you guys are ready for this. So I've seen like I could talk to about this because like on Facebook and on social media, you see like little things
Oh
like
my gosh, I
okay,
hate those memes.
yeah, right.
Or
But
the
it'd be like okay,
videos.
so if your I think I seen one if your husband and your father are arguing and
They tell
your
you to
hold
go.
on listen and your husband says get in the car and your father says sit down, what do you do?
Ooh,
This is
yeah.
like a crazy conversation that needs to happen, and it's probably not going to be what you guys expect. But if that was the case, because I'm going to go off of this social media thing, how would you handle that situation? How would you just handle it?
Who, me?
Yes. How would you handle that situation? If I was like, you know what? We about to go, and your dad said, either like stepdad or dad
Hey, listen,
said,
this has happened in real
said,
life.
said, what? Said, sit down.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'm as Candace said. She said I'm gonna have to go with the husband. Definitely.
Why?
Because like if you just told me let's go, like that's really de-escalating the situation for real for me. So I'm gonna have to agree with you because we are one,
Mm.
and then we need to go home and discuss later. But I'm not getting ready to have y'all two argue in a space.
But what would you say to your father? Would you say
Hey,
anything to your father,
hey,
or would you just
dad.
leave?
No, I would have to say a little something. Hey, dad, we can discuss this another time. But we're gonna go ahead and head out like SpongeBob.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So,
Okay. All right. So now let me tell you something. How I would feel in that situation, depending on how mad I am. Like if I'm really angry, which you could tell, you would be able to pick up on that.
mm-hmm.
Like if I say like, okay, babe, we gotta go, then I think like, okay, it's time to go. Now, how I would feel if it was just I can recognize that your father or your stepdad was like really if I could tell they were more mad than I was,
Yeah.
then I think that I would say, "Hey, let's go." But then on the way to the car, because I'm like it, I would say, "Please go make sure he's good before we get out of here." You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because I'm not
Yeah,
trying to disrespect dude,
for
and
sure.
I'm not trying to be. That's not my goal. Like so, whenever that happens, my goal is never to say, hurry up, or my goal is never to say, um hey, you gotta listen to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just more of the fact of
This is a
what
good
choice
one.
would you make? I think that's what it is.
I'm gonna just stand up, meet him in the middle.
Well, of course. I mean, of course, boyfriend and girlfriend right now. You
No.
definitely stand up and meet them in the middle right now. But this is a serious conversation when you become married, and this is tougher because if the roles was reversed and this was
Child.
mama and wife, I'm going with my wife. But I know I get a lot of guys that be like, look, hold on now, this mom dukes.
Yes.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
like,
So
absolutely not.
and that is why I said it's a real tough conversation to have because we know how girls are with their dads and how boys are about their moms. So
Yeah.
like it turns into a whole situation that you really got to be careful about. I
Mm-hmm.
say this: always respect everybody's feelings. Okay,
Yeah.
before
That's
we
hard. That's
before we
hard
get
in the
goofy and
heated.
silly, seriously, y'all just respect everybody's feelings. And like I remember even having a disagreement with your father, you know what I'm saying? And my whole feeling at that time was just like, I gotta make sure that I don't do anything that turns into something that can make him more upset.
You know
That's
what?
where I
Yeah.
was because I
Yeah,
was
because you
like,
was really the situation was different because I was ready to argue and you were saving me.
yeah,
Because
because
I was like,
I'm more like, what I do, like everybody's having a moment right now.
like this here comment.
Everybody's upset. I'm upset. She's upset. Everybody's upset. Okay, you keep laughing. What are we talking about?
No, I just said just like this comment because I was upset. I was ready to argue, but you was de-escalating.
Mhm.
But Renette was like, hey, neither one of y'all gonna tell me what to do. And that's where I was too. But eventually it got
You wasn't like that.
no, I'm saying eventually it got where it was
And
too
don't be like
heated.
that, Vanette.
It got too heated where
Don't be
you were
like that.
where you saw, nah, I got to remove us both
But
from
that's
the
what I said. Like, so
situation.
you got to, okay, so you got to be aware. So it's almost like even when you get in a real fight, like, you got to be like, okay, now, I don't know. I'm a thinker. Like, before I swing on you, I'm going to probably be thinking like two,
Woo!
two or three different ways to make sure I knock you out. Like, it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to do before you. I'm just not that type of person that's just going to pop off and just swing on you. Bow. That ain't me. So I'm the type of person that's going to be like, you know what? Before I get too upset, let me look around the room and let me see what everybody is on. Because if everybody ain't on the same page, and you can do it, like, man, let me tell you something. All you got to do is pull out fillers. You could just be like, well, I feel like, and if they cut you off, then okay, dude is getting mad, or
Rap on that.
or mom is not too happy right now.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a feeling? Have you ever had a disagreement with my mother? Like, if you felt like where y'all just wasn't seeing eye to eye on something?
No, it's weird.
You sure?
No, for real. Like I can't think of nothing. If you can, you can remember
Well,
something,
I mean, no, no,
because I
I
truly
don't think,
can't.
like of a like an actual experience, like something happened or anything. But I've never. I mean, I've never had to be in a
I'm for real
position.
trying to thank
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah.
Like,
I've never really been in a situation where I had to choose you
and that's a
over
blessing.
my
That's a
mother. You
blessing,
know what I'm
also.
saying? I think like parents, a lot of our parents, actually all of our parents really do respect us. But I think like I tell you, whenever we do get into a disagreement with any of them, even when I get into a disagreement with my parents, it's just that we got to remember that they are our parents. They still see
Yes,
us
and they still seeing us
as
as
they
2 and
kids.
4 and
Wrong answer.
12.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they
I'm
kids.
saying it.
I'm not saying two. I'm not saying the age, because I think that is immature. I'm just saying, like, my son is always going to be my son. I don't care how much facial hair he gets. I don't care how
If he
much
gets some, you
grays. You know
just
what I'm
got
saying?
this last
I'm
year.
just saying, even if he gets grays, I don't care what you're talking about. He's still going to be my son. And
Yeah.
I think our parents struggle with that, because now it's like, this is my son, and this is my this is my son's wife, or this is my daughter, and this is her husband.
You know
You
something
know what I
else?
mean?
I think that they struggle with it because we're such millennials and even younger on this feed, that we have such a strong opinion about stuff, and we can defend ourselves differently than the way they talk to their parents or defended themselves to their parents.
Well,
So I feel
yeah,
like
I
it
mean,
was a
that's
you
a
bet not say nothing.
well, I
Don't
think that's a
even.
parenting thing that does, I think, happen when you get older.
Yeah.
I mean, so I agree with you to a certain extent. I do think that relationship wise, that's where we get different, because I know that roles, like, they're okay. So, like, for example, like, they think that men are the providers. Period. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And there's only one way to provide.
Mm,
You get what I'm saying? If
yeah.
you're only providing that way, so if Cortez is falling short of providing that way, then he's not a good enough husband. Or if
Mm,
Jesse's not doing what she's supposed to be doing as a wife, then she's not a good wife. And that could be their perspective when it comes to our relationship. Like I said, parenting, though, you're absolutely right. We were the generation that was just like, yo, man, you don't have to talk to me like that to get your point across. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, we
And
were
I
that,
think and I
but
think our generation is we can think it through and decipher that. But these people behind us, they just rah 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 like my whoo.
yeah. So I think
So
I think a lot of people just got to be very, very careful with how they deal with their parents. And you got to remember, like, I just feel like you got to remember that they're your parents at the end of the day. Like, you know what I mean? Respect your parents, man. You're gonna
mhm.
miss them when they gone. You know what I'm saying? As you get older and older, and even now, let's if we put it in current events, God forbid, they get COVID-19, and you don't know what that
Oh
might
Lord.
entail. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's just like, you think about life, and it's like, I'm not about to let this one argument mess up the dynamic of our relationship. And some people will say, well, it shouldn't anyway, but maybe it should, because they never had to deal, like, especially when you first get married. Like, when you first get married and you have that, like, first thing, or when you have kids and you first have the decision that you have to make as parents. You know what I'm saying? And your parents are kind of like, that's not how you do it. You know what I
That's
mean?
these boundaries we talking about,
Yeah,
setting
yeah,
these boundaries.
absolutely. So, you just got to know when to say something. I would say that too, babe. Know when to say something, and
Yeah,
know
my
when to
timing is terrible.
just be quiet. Like,
I
sometimes
don't
it's
know
just
how.
not.
I'm the worst.
I get in trouble for walking away with my parents sometimes, because it seems so nonchalant, and it seems so, like, see, because, yeah, I think sometimes they expect me to be so upset, and then if I really don't have nothing else to say, I remember them being upset because I just left. Like, I just was like, you know
Because
what?
we have that option.
Yeah,
Like
like,
we can leave.
I'm not about to do that.
I don't have to sit here
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
listen to this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we got to always make sure that the dynamic between your parents are great. You don't want to mess up your dynamic. So that goes to setting boundaries, and
Mm-hmm.
what it is that setting boundaries. And I guess I want you to speak on that. What do you mean by setting boundaries with your parents? Because that's deep right there. Even that statement is pretty deep. What do you mean by that?
I mean, just like you said, know when to actually walk away. Like, and this is not even just parents. This is family in general. Like,
Okay, now we talking about family in
yeah,
general. Yeah,
this
yeah.
this is not just
Oh, well,
parents.
side note, if you're talking about family members to spouse, period, like I don't care about none of my family. Listen, if it ain't, look, I'm gonna keep it all the way gutter with you. I love my cousins to death. I love my nephews, nieces, all of y'all, brother, sister, all of y'all. Y'all know me. I love y'all to death. But y'all already know we ain't about to be doing no crazy beefing with my wife. It's not gonna happen. See, my parents is a respect. It's like a respect level. Now, like with
Yeah,
cousins and stuff, and you know what I'm saying, and,
y'all
and
gonna get
it's
these
like yeah,
hands. No,
man,
I'm
y'all
just
y'all
playing. I'm
right?
just
No,
playing.
y'all might like for real. Y'all might get these hands. We're gonna be cool after, but y'all might get these hands if y'all keep trying to disrespect my wife. Because I ain't about to. We ain't about to go through all that. Like period. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, and that's just how we handle things in my family, period. Like, all right, now what we gonna do? We gonna scrap it out or not? You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't about to keep going back and forth. I'm not going back and forth with my cousins, with my brother, my sister, and they not gonna do it because we built a great relationship.
Yeah, I love them
But
people.
we not about to go back and forth about my wife. Like that's just not gonna happen. Like I said, my parents is different because I don't want to. I don't want. I gotta remember that they my parents. But even my
Because you
cousin,
feel like their opinion matters somewhat.
not even just that, they just my
But your
parents.
parents and you don't
Yeah,
want to
you
be
know what I'm saying. You
disrespectful.
don't be
Yeah,
disrespectful.
just like
I mean, come on.
Adriana said. She said, I'd rather leave the situation than be disrespectful to my parents.
Facts. I'm not
Let me
about
tell
to do
y'all
that.
what,
I'm not about
it,
to do
it
that.
has been several times that like parents will read, they hate texting. My dad and stepmom, like, absolutely hate texting. And the way I come across in a text message can be so not how I meant to say it, but it'll be like, call me. And I'm like, you know what? No, because I don't even want to be disrespectful,
Yeah.
because I don't even want to defend about some jokes or something.
Well,
So,
and you got to go back to setting boundaries. So, what I
yeah.
mean, like you got to understand, like, okay, so there's certain things that we gonna be cool with, and there's certain like this is my wife, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, we're talking marriage terms now. This is my wife, so I intend to spend the rest of my life with this person and build a family with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that they have now extended their family to us. So our family and her family, now we're one. We are one family, right? So you got to watch the way that you speak to her, just like her family would,
Would
watch the
care for
way,
him. Yeah.
speak to me, and
Exactly.
carefully go around that and
Because I'm
know.
somebody's daughter,
So
just like he's
yeah,
somebody's
but check
son.
this out
Yeah.
though, because I'm gonna say, well, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna save that for later. But no, let me save it now. So if you go, you can't be a disrespectful husband or wife though. Like you can't be going out here cheating on nobody and doing stupid stuff, and then think people ain't gonna check you. Like
Right. Yeah,
no,
that's
like
true. Don't
people
get
going.
don't give my family no reason.
Yeah, and that's right. I can't do that, and she knows she can't do it
Yeah.
either. Like
Vice
we
versa.
we we know our families now, so it's like, why would you even put yourself in a situation to where you gotta be in that? Like,
Yeah.
especially I'm saying if you did something
Yeah.
now.
So that's why you fix stuff at home. This is just like some comments.
I was
A
about to
bunch of
say that
comments
I'm
are
loving
saying
these
that
comments right now, but they're
uh
like, I see one from Andrew, and I gotta say it. Shout out to the cake man, and I gotta say it. Don't tell your family what you going through. And we talked about this as kids when me and Jesse was dating. It was like
y'all,
you
oh
can't
my
tell, like you
gosh.
can't tell them.
Silliness.
Put like this, you can't tell them the stuff that y'all really gotta
And
fix.
it's really small petty stuff sometimes.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the stuff you got to fix. So
Like what?
I'm talking about things that you argue about, things
Mm,
that you
okay.
really have a issue with, communication, jealousy, the big words, in
Yeah,
relationships.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't talk, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to confide in them, you know that there's a great possibility that that's going to get out. Now, I trust certain family members more than I trust others. So if I make that decision to confide in them, vent to them, then I know the end result and I know what could happen if I do say something. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want people to understand. It's just, if you say something to somebody, know that it's a strong possibility that this is absolutely going to get around. Okay.
Yeah.
So like just be very
Around the whole
careful.
family.
Yeah, be very careful about, and like don't say nothing to your drunk cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got a drunk cousin. Everybody got one of them cousins that stay butted,
Jesus.
that stay super hot. You know what I'm saying? So
Jesus.
you don't always want to be talking crazy around these people. You know what I'm saying? And then wonder why they treat the spouse the way that they treat them.
Ooh, that's a heavy one right there.
Okay, what?
She said, that's our generation. I don't tell my mother nothing, but I don't want my kids to feel that way.
Well, here you go. The thing is the relationship will be different.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too. If your relationship with your kids is different,
They
you
will
get what I'm
want to tell
saying?
you stuff,
They're going
but
to tell you stuff in their
they'll-
own way.
also, but they'll trust you with the information.
Exactly. And they will definitely trust you. And once they give you, oh my goodness, once somebody gives you their trust, y'all, you can't do anything to break that. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
relationships, period. No matter what it is. If it's, like if it's a sexual relationship, if it is a mental relationship, a friendship, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, just please, once somebody says that they trust you and they give you information that they want you to hold and they want you to watch them fix it, you get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, do that. You know what I'm saying? Be strong enough to do that. Don't be that type of person that just let all the information out and be the source of just ratchetness, as I say. You know what I'm saying? So just always understand that and be careful with who you telling people. I mean, like, I'm not saying that family, put like this. There's friends that are shady, but we got to keep it real. There's family that is shady too.
Yes,
And
and we didn't choose these people, y'all.
no, the family, you didn't choose your family. You are born into your family. You get what I'm saying? And then, there's different situations, you know what I mean, where you might have quote unquote chose your family, but you didn't, period. I don't think you ever really choose your family. So you got to be very, very careful with doing that. So just know, I'm like, if me and Jess have a problem, y'all are not going to know about it. I don't care how much we argue about it. I don't care how much we just going crazy. You know how people, so like the single people and other people like to say, well, they like it's on camera, but behind the camera they probably going at it. Guess what? If we are, it's behind the camera because we don't want you all to see that. That's not nothing that's crazy.
That's
And
not for
whatever,
everybody
yeah,
because
and
we will
whatever's in
fix
the
whatever.
dark, and I'm saying this abusive wise, if there is something in the dark that is abusive, then it will come to light.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if there's something really bad that's going on, it will come to light at some point. But if we don't give you all everything, because we got to work on it ourselves, because if we trust too many people with what it is that we need to work on, we're gonna end up losing how we fix our solution. Is that right?
Mm,
Is that what I'm saying? How we get to the right results.
yeah. These are some really good
So let's
comments.
read
Let's
some
read a
comments
few.
before, and we got some time, y'all. So take your time, okay? What does that say? Go ahead and say it.
It says family must learn that marriage immediately makes them second place, including my mama.
Yep. That's what I said.
Facts on top of facts on top of facts.
Yes, and that is something that like I said, we said earlier, men struggle with this, I think, the most. Well, I don't know, because
I
daddy's
don't know
girl is
because,
real. Like mama's boy and daddy's girl, those are some
but
real.
even not even necessarily just those roles, because even this comment,
Okay, come on.
it's hard because of the bond that I share with my mother. This is Morgan saying that she shares a bond with her mother. But I also have to realize that she's my mom and she's not going to forgive as quick as I do, or at all for that matter. It's tough.
So I get what she's saying, but I think that's just remembering when you tell your parents stuff, you still telling your parents. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're your parents.
Yeah.
So they are going to be, they're going to be a quote unquote certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? When you
Yeah.
tell them things.
Because you do want to tell your parents stuff just so that you can get a good perspective of maybe how you could handle a situation, or, just some advice. But
I know, but parents always want to give you solutions.
right. This is
And
just a suggestion,
I
not a
know,
solution.
I know, but this is,
they
but I
do.
always say, you know what I say to me and Jess whenever we talk about parents, I say, keep that same energy. And she be like, well, what you mean? Because we're going to have kids that's this age. We're going to have kids
Man.
that are teenagers. We're going to have kids that turn into adults. Like, we got to keep this same energy. We got to make sure we understand what it is that we saying, and make sure that we don't turn into the same parents that frustrate us, you know what I'm saying? Or get us all out of our discombobulated. And I think we're going to be that way because we're parents. So that's why I say, like, sometimes, it is, you could tell your parents whatever you want to tell them, but just set boundaries. And that's what
Mhm.
we was just saying. If you
Yeah.
feel like you can trust them, then trust them.
Sure.
I trust your parents, really. Trust them if you really feel that way.
Right.
But just understand, like, I know I tell my mama some deep dark stuff, and I tell, like, my mama knows when I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? And she will, like, she won't tell a soul. You know what I'm saying?
Your
There's,
mom is real good
yeah, you know what
about
I'm saying?
that.
It's like, mama, no, seriously. And I'll tell her, I'm like, I don't want you to tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? And she'll be like,
My
okay,
mom
all
ain't that
right,
way.
all right, all right, I got you. And she'll
She's
see,
not.
like, the look in my eyes and
Yeah.
how passionate I am. So we just gotta make sure we keep that same energy.
Here's
That's
a
all I'm
here's a
saying.
good
A good comment. What we got? Come
comment.
on, what we got?
Or the opposite. She says, I didn't share a lot of big issues my husband and I were experiencing, but my sister was going through a lot and shared literally everything. So my aunt would always approach me as if I had the quote unquote perfect marriage in a ridicule type of way.
Okay, so with that being said,
Hence, we ain't goes.
we ain't
This is
goes.
literally the epitome
We
of
just
what
like people got to
we're talking about.
understand, when you're working on a good marriage, there are certain things you do and certain things you don't do. There are certain ways you go about your business and certain ways you don't go about your business. So if you choose to, you know keep your thing, keep the big issues on the inside. And it's really tough because you could keep the big issues on the inside, confide in somebody else, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like everybody else is still so judgmental
Mm-hmm.
on you, like, yeah, 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 y'all just know everything and blah blah blah. Probably how people feel about us right now when it comes to We Ain't Goes. But I'm just saying in general, like, you got to be in a certain space to be able to share advice.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to understand how your feelings and why how you're feeling and why you feel that way before you can really start doing that. But I would say this: perfect is not a word for anybody.
At all.
Perfect is not
It's a
something that.
perception of individuals because your
Mhm,
definition of perfect might differ from this person
absolutely.
and the next, and there's no such thing of
Absolutely.
it.
So in a perfect marriage, shout out to is that who just said this?
Adriana.
Yeah, shout out to Adriana. She just literally said there's no such thing as a perfect marriage. And
Mhm.
there isn't. I mean, I don't think there's no such thing as a perfect anything. You know what I'm saying? Besides Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. But anyways, like, a perfect marriage, I don't even know what that is. Like, what does that look like?
It doesn't look like anything we've ever seen because it's not it.
I mean, we could get, there's great marriages. I mean, there's
Yeah,
good ones,
that's fine.
but perfect, yeah, it really depends on what you call perfect. Like, if
Yeah,
you say perfect is not arguing, I would say
that
there's
ain't
no
it.
such thing as a perfect marriage.
That ain't
If
it.
you say perfect is not losing or staying intimate, I would say there's no such thing as a
That
perfect
ain't it.
marriage. You get what I'm saying? So I don't really understand how that works. But of course, as we said before, guys, before you get into all of this crazy stuff, then I want you to understand you got to make sure you set boundaries. Don't
Hmm.
forget that, okay?
This is a good
Set
comment too.
boundaries. What's another comment? Because we got a few things left on our on
It
our
says,
papers.
I believe in going through it privately, but sharing your success publicly to help others that may be going through the same thing.
Well, I would say this: whenever you go through it privately, just make sure you praying and make sure you got some
Hmm.
God, make sure you got some counseling in that, because going through things privately sucks. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie to you,
Ooh, it's
it
hard because
sucks.
you feel like you're the only one going through, but
It sucks, but just make sure you always praying and trying to get that together. Now, and the last thing, I see some more comments about healthy relationships, and I think healthy relationships, this is dope. I like this comment. There's healthy relationships not perfect. Is that what that means?
hmm
Okay, so healthy relationships are not perfect, but they're healthy. So when you're healthy, that means that you put in your body and you exercise your body and you do things to your body in order for it to last long, right? So if you're having a healthy relationship, you're doing the exact same thing.
put
You're
in the
you're
work.
putting in the work, you're exercising your mind. You
Mm-hmm.
are, making sure everything is good. You're trying your best. You're motivating yourself every day. You're
Communicating.
communicating. You're self-talking as
Mm-hmm.
well. You're doing all of these things to continuously have a great relationship with the person you're in the relationship with. So you have to make sure you are doing those things in order to be healthy, but striving for perfection will lead to failure.
Yep.
So if you always strive to be perfect, it goes back to what you said. Like you when you know how like you're perfect, you try to like do stuff a certain kind of way, and it's
Oh,
like,
when I was talking about perfectionism and stuff,
yeah.
yeah, because like I said on one of the other episodes, that I was trying to be a perfect wife, but not the wife that he needs in
Mhm.
that moment. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
people got to understand that like we just have to get to a point where understanding, I think, is a big thing with relationships as well. But let's stay on topic with our family, and just make sure we are continuously setting boundaries. Now I see something on here. When we set boundaries, I see something that we're talking about time. What do you mean by time when you're setting boundaries?
How much time you spend with your now external family versus your the family you built, your
So that goes
internal
back to our
family.
balance conversation as
Yeah.
well. So I would say this, y'all. Please talk to your parents. Please talk to family members as much as possible. Okay. And what I mean by that is, if it's a text message, if it's a call, if it's a drop by, try to stay connected as much as possible, because I go back to the comment where it says I could be struggling privately. And then something that you guys like, being around family for some people is therapeutic as well.
Hmm.
So you know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure you stay around some people that you need to stay around. Like we actually visit our parents now. Every Sunday we try to visit at least one set of parent. You know what I'm saying? So if we can visit them during the week, we see your mom and stepdad all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to make sure you have a healthy balance of that. If not, I feel like, I guess it depends on your family.
Right.
It
It depends
depends
on the
on what kind
makeup
of
of your
family.
family.
And so I say this: if you got one of them ratchet families, then that's when you work on your own family, your own household. How
Mm,
much time do you actually spend with your kids? How much time do you actually spend with your wife or
You know,
husband?
I was gonna say,
Ooh, that's deep.
yeah, because
Mm, mm,
we
mm,
made
mm.
a ritual to visit every Sunday, but maybe we need to spend some Sundays by
We
ourselves.
do, we do, and I remember we say that from time to time, and then
Yeah.
sometimes our parents get tired of us.
Yeah.
We ain't
That's the truth.
we ain't doing it. We ain't cooking. We ain't
Right. We
doing
ain't
nothing.
cooking.
Oh well, okay.
Oh,
Well, we staying
dang.
home
But we
then.
still hungry.
You
Dang.
know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that I think it's a healthy balance, but I just don't think you should forget about your kids and your spouse, man. Like, I know that, like, I just feel like when you're married and you're trying to get your family together, nothing else matters to me. Like,
Yes. That's
nothing
priority number
else
one.
I don't really care. And she tells you, because maybe I don't care a little bit too much, but I don't care about friends like that. Like, I don't care about friends. I don't care about family like that. All I care about is the three people that live in my household. And that's it. Like, I just want to make sure that they good. And I understand it goes back to her needs, and she goes back to my needs, where then it may be affected by family. Like, okay, Cortez may he don't see his mama all week, so he needs to see
Yeah.
his mama on, because he don't pick up the kids at the daycare. He don't
Right.
get to do that. He doesn't get to see her or talk to her, because he's spending most of his time working all day. So he might need that Sunday to spend time with his mama for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see how that works. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, like, I just want to
But
spend time with my
you
kids and
know
my
what?
wife.
That goes back to it. When I have the fear of, oh God, that's the word. Let me get that out of my vocabulary.
What's up?
A concern about moving to another state.
What?
And I want to, because then we would definitely have to depend on our internal family more, because we don't have external family to help us with kids or anything. So, I mean, that just kind of ties into that
Yeah,
what you're
and
talking
well, and
about.
that goes back to our personalities too. I mean, like, you just want to be perfect. Like, you want it to be a
Yeah.
perfect situation. And
And there's no
and
such.
I literally have said, like, bruh, I'm down. You know what I'm saying? So whatever we got to do, I remember even saying this to you.
Yeah.
Whatever we got to do, we're just going to do. Like I can't tell you how, I can't tell you when, I can't tell you what time, I can't tell you. Like you would make.
And it made me.
She was hey y'all, she was making up scenario. I was like, babe, I really can't.
I know.
I
It's
really, I'm
really
not even
no
trying to
way.
be rude, but I can't answer that question
Yeah.
because I really
The
don't
reason I brought that up is
know.
because of when we were talking about when and how often we should visit. This comments down here, Christmas and holidays. And you know what?
That ain't enough for some people
It's
though.
not, but they appreciate it more. They once you see, we've conditioned our family to see us weekly. So when we said, "Oh, we gonna move," your mama was like, "No, y'all not."
No, I was down.
No, but your mama was
I'm
like,
still
"Y'all ain't
down.
going
I
nowhere."
know she may
I
feel
know,
that
but
way,
that's what I'm saying.
but what I'm saying is, if my
They don't
wife,
even believe it.
I know, but if my wife is down, then I'm down. Like
All right,
come
bro.
on, cuz I've
Catch
already.
we ain't goes on the tour.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You never know. We might not be here. I'm not wherever God takes us. You know that's where we gonna go, girl. Come on,
Yeah.
cuz. Quit that. Come on, cuz. Like you know what I'm saying. We just got to get to a point where we actually make that decision. So and we got to learn how to say. So when you set boundaries, you got to balance your time, and then sometimes you got to learn how to say no, y'all. Okay, sometimes no is
No
no.
is a complete
Like
sentence.
no, like even family members around. Look, let me keep it all way gutter with you. So even if you had a family reunion and your family is a certain kind of way and they like to be a certain kind of way, but you don't want your kids to kind of like deal with that right now, it
Woo.
is okay for
No.
you to say no.
CJ can't play with Lil Ray Ray.
You know what I'm
No.
saying? Or not even that he can't play with Lil Ray Ray. He got a time limit with Lil Ray
His
Ray.
mouth is
Ah, yeah, yeah,
reckless.
yeah,
No.
yeah. Lil Ray Ray over here saying this, and that. Nah, man, because we
Not our
already
son.
having a little problems with CJ doing this, with CJ doing that. So we can't have him in that environment because I don't think he's ready to handle that yet. You get what I'm saying?
How about no?
So it's serious. Like you gotta like it's hard because you know how you grew up and you know that sometimes you grew up you saw what was going on and it made you the person you are, but sometimes kids need more time to think about that. Kids need more time to understand what's going on, you know what I'm saying? So like I don't mind putting my kids around certain situations as long as I'm there.
Yes,
You
because
know what
I
I'm
can
saying?
control the environment.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I can do a little certain things and yeah, you might
Uh,
can be here, but guess what? You go your memory is gonna be I was with here with my parents, or I was with here with my daddy,
yeah.
and I was with here with my mom. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, my mom and my dad should be responsible for controlling some of the things I see. Kids are gonna see things we don't,
Right. We can't
we
shield them
can't,
from
yeah, we can't
everything, but
shield
when
them.
we can,
But if we can, we can. And that's what I'm telling you all as married people or as parents as well. It's okay to do that. Like don't let no family member tell you, well, you grew up like that.
okay.
Your mama used to and she was pregnant with you and
And
she
I can
did, did,
remember
did.
all that, and it's terrible in my
Yeah,
psyche, in my subconscious, and I'm not trying to project that going forward on anyone else. So,
absolutely.
and my
Absolutely.
children included.
If
So,
if if family
so
members
no,
so if family members knew some of the things that tragically changed our lives as kids growing up,
they don't even
I
know.
think they would break down and cry.
They
I
don't
think
even
some
know.
of them would fall over and die. I'm just being serious. I don't think
They
they
don't
will
know.
be ready
They're
for
not
some of the
ready.
things that they thought that they covered up. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
kids see a lot.
Like that's what I'm saying. Oh, they didn't. Oh, I don't think they saw that.
Yeah, we did.
We understand. I understand the porch run now. I get it.
Yeah,
I know what that means. You get what I'm saying? Like I understand what it means now. It's growing up, you don't really think too much about it. But when you start getting older and being mature and your mind starts to grow, you start to be like, oh,
oh,
so
that's what
that's
that
what
was.
that means. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And you just, I don't know. I just don't want to be responsible for my child's psyche to be messed up. I want my child to be like, my parents tried their best to introduce me to stuff to a certain extent. And then when I was ready to learn more, they allowed me to learn more about it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Without it being a whole no or a whole yes. Like it was just more like, are you sure you ready for it? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know what happens when you know what I
Well,
mean?
let's talk about it.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like I said, when you want to say no to mama and daddy,
to your
to your
family.
family, it's
No,
okay. Like, no, we're not about to
just
do that.
no,
No, I'm not. They not going. I'm sorry. They
no.
not coming over there. No, I don't want them over there. Just because
Why?
I said,
No.
because I don't want to.
Just but last time, no,
You did. This is the good one.
no.
You did. This is a good one, y'all. You did it when you was a kid.
I was a child. No.
I couldn't say no. When I said no, y'all made me go.
I'm grown, so no.
And we get it. Like I said, you will deal with kids that really want to go or really want to be in a situation
And don't
because
understand.
kids
Y'all,
don't
you
understand.
know what?
They
There's
just
some,
see
yeah,
family as family.
there
You
were
know what I'm saying?
some situations that I can kind of remember that my mama said no to, and I'm glad she did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what about music and entertainment and influences? You control that.
You
You
do.
control that. I mean, honestly, let me tell you something about music and entertainment. So, with me
Y'all
and
got
our
us on here
family,
today.
now I'm gonna tell you, because we this is what we do.
This
We
was the question if y'all didn't hear
yeah,
it, so I'm
yeah.
gonna put
I
it
put
up
it up
on
there.
here.
Okay. So, what about music and entertainment when it comes to that? You say no to whatever you want to say no to. If it's got to deal with your children, that's your kids. I mean, you whatever you want to say no to, that's on you. But just remember, there will become a time where you're not going to be able to control what it is that they see.
Also, I remember as a kid, as a teenager, my little brother can probably remember this. My daddy used to burn us CDs, edited versions, and that's it. Like we didn't hear the unedited versions of music for forever. Like at his house, period. Like I never did. I got all that stuff at home, or if I listen to it on my own, or at school, or something
Well,
from friends.
I had a big brother,
I'm the
so it
only
was
child
different.
at
Yeah, yeah.
home,
So it
so
was
I had
different.
to find that stuff at home.
So
But my
so
daddy,
and my
he didn't play
brother,
about that.
see, my brother loved No Limit Soldiers, 3 6 Mafia.
Just ratchet.
So I mean, I heard the music, but that was more of when I got older. Because like there's a certain point though, like Big Brother sometimes hit this phase where it's like, yeah, my little brother, it's my little brother type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at
Hmm.
the same time, my brother he wasn't really like that much. He always, was cool with me going. I just explained to me why I couldn't go because we 5 years apart. So it's like, look, bro, what I mean, I'm 15 and you 10. You can't,
Right.
like you
You
gotta let me
really can't
be.
go.
Let me be for a minute. And
How
when
you
you
think
get
we
up here, little
feel?
bro,
We 13 years apart, me and my
yeah,
sisters.
yeah. So I understood that,
Ooh,
but
chat.
but when it comes to that, just learn how to say no, y'all. Like it's okay. And I know sometimes you may say, and it's really at your discretion when it comes to music and entertainment.
For
It's
sure.
whatever you want. I mean, it's your household. Whatever you want to do, but just understand. I just always say, just make sure you just have a bigger conversation with your kids. You know what I mean? When you see stuff and you introduce them to things, or you introduce them to music,
Or
entertainment,
the family
movies,
they around. Like
you know.
if you like, hey, we don't watch this show at all. Let the people know. Like if they go to Nana's house,
But you
we
gotta
don't
be
watch this one at all.
But you
So
gotta be open. Listen, but you gotta know that if they ever spend the night over that person's house, they probably gonna
it
see
might
it.
happen.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with that being said, then that's why I say you got to make sure you communicate with your children. But this is parenting a little bit, but make sure you just communicate with your children when it comes to certain things, and don't be afraid to have the conversations at an early age with your kids. Y'all get
Hmm.
so caught up in how
Well,
old
when they
your
get this age,
yeah,
I'll
you know what
tell
I'm
them
saying?
about this.
Like, no, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like there's certain music that I like. Right now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I love NLE Chopper.
NLE Chopper.
You know what I'm
Let me tell you,
saying?
I pray for that boy every day.
Yes, I do
I
too.
really
But
do.
NLE Chopper, man, and his music is woo. The content is woo. You know what
Even
I'm
the
saying?
edited
Even
stuff
the
because
edited
I can
version is
infer.
like,
So
oh,
I know a
jeez.
kid is
Oh
inferring.
man, right. You know what I'm saying?
Like
So
what word goes
but
right there?
sometimes I gotta, like music is an emotion as well. Sometimes you hear music and you get the feeling of just like, I just want to do this, or I just want to be deep in, listen to what the lyrics are. It just depends on whatever emotion you feel. But just understand when it comes to listening to music, that's what kids do too. Kids just listen. They're not necessarily understanding yet.
Y'all know y'all
You know
didn't
what I
know what
mean?
rock the boat meant when
We
y'all
didn't know
was
what rock the
12.
boat meant. We didn't know, girl. Look, we knew what they were saying, but girl, you
I
look
didn't know
good.
what them
Once you
words
back
meant.
that thing up, I'm back. What thing? What you talking
What are you
about? I'm gonna
talking
back it
about?
up. I got it though. I'm gonna
Stop.
try it. If
Stop. We
you,
probably knew what that meant,
nah, I
but
don't know, but that thing up, I
yeah,
don't
we're gonna.
know. And then what's another
No,
one?
but rock the boat for sure was like a cryptic song for
Yeah, that was too, but that was too
us,
smooth. You know what I'm saying? Rap music is just being rap music. So if you
man.
talking about
I don't know.
rap music being ratchet. So I don't know why you trying to. There's no way of
Yeah,
filtering
I know.
rap music, especially these days. So if you want to do it, you want to do it. But say no. Always make sure you set your boundaries. And the last part before we get out of here, y'all, stick together. That is the biggest thing. No matter what, just because you have your differences, just because you are not seeing eye to eye sometimes, they're still family. So you have to
Yeah,
learn how to stick together. We don't like things happen to people, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They really do. They happen to, and it really, really. I don't know. I don't want to say too much because we dealing with some things ourselves, but like things happen to people, and you always want to make sure that they know that you love them, or they
right.
know that you can call them anytime. That's why I said just make sure you can
Just
do
check
that.
in.
Just check in with them, y'all. Like I know we saw the comment about Christmas and holidays. I get it, but just it's always good to check in, man. It's always good to see how somebody's going because you just never know when their last days are. You know what I'm saying?
Or ours.
You
Like
know,
you just never know.
yeah, but I'm just saying when there is, like, even if I speak to my Uncle Gary and I speak to my Uncle Papa, you just never know when the
Yeah.
last time is you're gonna talk to these people. You know what I mean? Especially if you got an older family, or even if you got a younger family these days, God forbid.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's what
saying?
I'm saying. You
So
just never
just
know.
make sure you say what's up. You know what I mean? You can just be like, yeah, what's going on? I just want to see how you doing. I didn't want nothing. I'm not trying to mess up your day or give you a long lecture. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to see how you. I wanted to hear your voice and say hello,
I
and that
will
was
say
about it.
that I feel like I'm getting tighter with my siblings for sure now that all of us are
Oh, that's definitely
older.
gonna happen. I'm saying that
Like,
now because, like, my siblings, we what? So me and my brother's 5 years apart. Me and my sister are 11 years apart.
hmm
So
but now
absolutely,
you grown because you the
yeah.
baby.
So when the baby gets grown, so shout out to your little sister.
Yeah, she the
So
baby.
when your little sister gets grown, because she grown,
She
but when she get
grownish.
grown, like that's when it's gonna continuously get good because it's like,
Yeah,
oh man, you grown now. So
yeah,
you reached a point and a level, and you're gonna, she's gonna be continuously achieve things, and you're gonna be achieving things. Your brother's gonna be achieving things. Your big sister gonna be like,
yeah,
y'all gonna look at each other much completely different. But
yeah.
that's why I said stick together because you never know what's absolutely gonna happen. But guess what, y'all? That is our show. Okay, that is our show. We have talked for a
Y'all
nice
got us
amount of time.
talking a
Yeah.
lot today, and we could talk so much more. And y'all know this, but
Yeah, we absolutely can. So we want y'all to make sure y'all stay tuned in every single Wednesday for We Ain't Goes. And can you do me a favor? Can you grab the Cake Man's
hey,
cake jar again real quick? And make
this is the honey
sure,
bun cake
please, y'all, it's so
about
good.
the
It was
cake man.
it was delicious. We ate it
For real
early
though, like
today.
we have to get an entire cake of this because there's no way that just
Hey, can
this
you make
many.
some? Cuz, can you make something blue? I mean, I don't know what like flavor it'll
Hold,
be.
hold on, but like
Never
this
mind.
this
I'm sorry.
much, this ain't gonna get it.
Yeah,
This is just not gonna
babe, that's
get
a
it.
lot. Don't get too.
How's it gonna
That's
last?
a lot. It might not last, but it's gonna. Don't say that. That's a lot, baby. Okay, all right, that's a
It's
lot.
a lot when you share it. It's
Yeah,
not a lot for one person.
it is a lot for one person. What are you talking about? What are you speaking?
I
It
mean
is.
the other way around. That's what
Yeah,
I
but
meant.
it is delicious though. All I know is that it is delicious. So please make sure you check out the Cake Man, and it's the lowercase c and lowercase m, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, on Facebook. So please make sure you go like the page right now. Don't be no haters. Go like the page right now. Get you something ordered in so we can get this thing crack a lacking. And
We'll
yes, this
tag
is
it
black
for
owned,
sure.
y'all. Black owned, black business. Okay, so we got to support our black businesses
Mm-hmm.
and one of our great supporters of the show as well, man. So we want to make sure you shout out. I'm
I'm
gonna
not even
shout
gonna put
out
the
my
cap back on
the
because this
Cake
is not
Man
gonna happen.
himself, man, Andrew Connor, man. Blessings to you and your family as well. So yeah, y'all, we will see y'all next Wednesday. Hopefully we'll see you Saturday at Quinn Chapel for the backpack drive.
For sure.
So bring your kids. We got all the backpacks. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of donations, and we're gonna have an excellent time. Okay, so please, 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 please please come out on Saturday. And if you're in the area, make sure you check out Too Bad Zumba. And if you're on iTunes, Spotify, anything with music, title, all of that, check out that Tears Are Too Deep. That Tears Are Too Deep. Make sure you check that boy out on that music, man. That singer, that rapper, that entertainer,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
boy
yeah.
that be doing a
Pew, pew, pew,
whole bunch of
pew.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we love y'all. We thank y'all so much. And thank you for listening to
We
We Ain't
ain't goes. See you
Ghost.
later.
See ya later.